Hey, hey, hey. How are you guys? And welcome, welcome. Thank you for dropping in. I am Dr. Liz, and I hope you're having a wonderful day so far. Well, we're back to week two of a series of several weeks where I'm really going to be focusing on communication in your relationship, specifically your intimate romantic relationships. But guys, this is really an investment of time and energy that carries forth in all areas of your life, because we know that effective communication is part of any relationship, whether it's families, friends, colleagues. Having good communication really does depend on sharing information in a way that avoids misunderstandings, and it builds rather than breaks down relationships. Yeah. Perhaps one of you maybe have had a misunderstanding, whether it's at work or with friends or with your sweetheart. And that misunderstanding really sometimes can take us a step back, and there's more energy and trust building to get back to that sweet spot. So we're going to spend time over the next week or so, if you're up for it, learning how to have good conversations, how to communicate in a way that leaves everyone, you and them, feeling appreciated and valued, right? And the impact that can be on these romantic relationships may be the most dramatic of all. And you're going to be leaving a legacy for yourself and your family, if you have children, when they see and hear you guys talking, communicating, connecting, um, working through those misunderstandings, working through differences of opinions. Because guess what? That's important. That's super important. Intimate relationships do succeed or fail. And I see it every single day. They succeed or fail based on the couple's ability to communicate. Seriously, to communicate. There's a sharing, there's a listening, there's the key factor is accepting differences with each other, accepting differences in their opinions, and then celebrating the connection. And so I'm going to talk a little bit today, share a little bit more about what I call the couples dictionary. But I want to talk to you first about the myth. Okay. Um, if having strong communication is so important in romantic relationships, why do we, or what is it about us that believes there's this myth that if we're safe, right? The myth that floats around that I hear is like, we're good, we're fine, we see each other every day, we talk every day, it's good, you know, we don't have those stony silences. And I pretty much know what's going on in their world, they know what's going on in my world, the kids' world. So they think that they're safe because they're regularly talking to their others. So they think, and many folks feel like this regular conversation, that's all it's needed. you know Bills are getting paid, and we kind of know what we're going to do for the weekend. And I know, I know what the kids are doing, or that they're talking to their friend in, I don't know, Missouri. Who knows? They feel like that we're talking is real communication. And it's getting mixed. The definition is getting mixed up, and that talking, right? We know the transactional stuff, but the transformational, that loving connection, that's real communication, and that leads to understanding and deepening the relationship. So I guess when I'm talking about better communication, I'm talking about one that transforms your relationship, continues to build understanding, continues to deepen the relationship, and explore and manage the things that we don't always agree with, right? So I'm going to talk to you a little bit more. We're going to share a little bit more about the right kind of talking, the talking that's going to keep the romance going, or if it's kind of stalled out, I'm going to show you how you can restart it, get past those awkward moments and the gaps that happen, and avoid build up of negative feelings, that resentment, because resentment, bitterness, dissatisfaction, distancing, that really happens often in long-term relationships. Another myth that sometimes folks hang on to is that they're supposed to overlook most things. They're supposed to just let it go, and it's okay because after all, we're talking on a regular basis. It's not that big of a deal. And in the scheme of things, sometimes this stuff is really little and simple. But if we are having deeper conversations, then it's okay. And I'll show you how to do it. But it's okay to talk about feeling a little bit hurt or resentful when they didn't appreciate something that you thought was important that you did. Maybe you worked really, really hard all day and then tried to tidy the house or make sure the kids were all fed and put to where they need to be, or made their special dinner, or fill in the blank. And they walked in and you had your regular talk, but they didn't see or acknowledge beyond, oh, hey, house looks nice. Oh, hamburgers. Yay. I love hamburgers. Thanks. They didn't get it. They just sort of viewed maybe that was part of what you just did on a regular basis. And that's your role or your job. And you might have thought that was something that was really important to you because you were going out of your way. So see, we're regularly talking, but we're missing parts of that moment. And effective, deep communication could bring up those little oversights that I'm sure your sweetheart wouldn't intentionally want to hurt your feelings. They just had different definitions and different awarenesses of the situation. So we're going to talk about over the next few days the right kind of communication, the right kind of talking that helps you bring up those little things, even right there in the moment. And disappointed. I worked really hard. Okay. And get past building any resentment and get past hanging on to the bitterness. But one of the things before we, jump off the call today and jump onto it again tomorrow, I wanted to talk to you about the couples dictionary. And right there in that moment when I was talking to you about, let's say you worked really hard and your sweetheart breezed through and didn't notice something. We all enter our relationship with certain definitions of words that come from the way we grew up, the way we interpret it, what we experienced. And so when I'm talking about an apple, you may not have the same definition of apple. I'm sure pretty soon we probably have similar definitions. But if I say the perfect apple, for me, maybe it's a gala apple. And for you, maybe it's a Fuji or a Red Delicious or a Golden, whatever it might be. So we all have different ideas of what is the right apple. The same thing. So we're talking just something so simple as that. But when we start talking about other tough things, like what's my role? It is expected of me to do something. Savings. Couples have so many different ideas about what is the right amount of money to have in the savings account, or the correct number of times, or an ideal number of times when they're intimate or when they have time off. And so it is very, very important as couples that we start to get curious and not just have regular talking, okay, but really get curious of what is their definition of security, of retirement, of savings, of intimacy, of a checkbook. Why do we need it? Why do we need a joint checking account? What does it mean? What a separate checking account means, or splurging money. So I'm just sharing you really briefly about some of the simple but big things that show up in couples because we assume we are talking with the same vocabulary that has the same meanings attached to it. We don't. Not always. Sometimes we do. And that's where, over the course of this week, we're going to get some better ideas and better ways how to really get in there and share, how to listen, how to overcome these differences, how to communicate so you can have an even extra, super special, divorce-proof, affair-proof relationship, marriage. And the other thing is you're going to reap the benefits, and the people around you and your kids and other things, even your critters, are going to also experience the benefit of you guys having a successful marriage or relationship. So I am popping off here. I will talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.